Hello, this is Chris from tradesight, and I'm going to do a trade recap for you. Show you a trade call that we made on Friday, the 20th of June 2014, that combines a chart pattern and a really useful tool that we've designed for eSignal 11. This will kind of show off the power of the eSignal 11 platform and some of the trade concepts that we teach here at tradesight, particularly in our 6-month stock trading mentorship program that's offered through eSignal. So let's take a look at this particular trade. This is the daily chart of a stock, SLXP, that's Salix Pharmaceuticals. Real nice pattern since the beginning of March. Established the 120 area as a high. Really good basing pattern, constructive. There's a cup in here and a cup and handle even in here as we came all the way up late in May to get up to 118 and then handled out with a little pullback. And now we've been sort of uh, getting ready, if you will. We're coiling the spring to make a move higher, it looks like. So we really like these types of patterns over multiple months. We use them to enter stock. We're going to go long and buy this thing if it breaks over the 120 level. And that's what it did today. But as I show you the actual trade and how it played out, and we're going to use this cool bar replay mode on eSignal where you can relive the day bar by bar. I'm going to show you some of the tools we use to figure out where to take off pieces of the trade. And this is in particular our Murrey Math tool. And this is a 5-minute chart of the SLXP coming into the day. So again, we were looking to buy over 120, and you can see just the first 2 bars of the day so far, and it's starting to head up, and everything prior to that is Wednesday and Thursday's trading. So we've established that, that this thing's heading up here. At the end of this bar, it's at 119.34. Remember, 120 is the breakout point. And what I want to focus on here is the actual Murrey Math lines that you see here. They're labeled down the right side with the price and what's called the eighths level. So the dark blue lines are the ones we like to focus on the most as targets and support and resistance points, and that's the 8/8, the 4/8, and the 0/8 levels. We do teach in our course what all these different levels are used for, different mathematical probabilities of where a lot of trading will occur, where the biggest resistance will be. But in order for these lines to shift, you need to exceed either the top dashed red line, that's the plus 2/8 line, or go below the bottom dashed red line, which is the minus 2/8 level. And so what we're going to look at here is, obviously, since the top line is 119.53, we're looking to buy this thing on a breakout over 120. We would have to exceed that level just to get to the 120 breakout, and that's going to shift all these lines up. Now, how fast we move through that level, where that first 5-minute bar above it trades to, will determine how far these levels get spaced as the box, what we call the box, shifts. But remember, the dark blue lines are the most important levels in terms of basic support and resistance points anyways. So let's see what happens here as we move forward in the day. And here's the thing. The very next bar is very strong and breaks right through that top line. Remember, it was 119.53, and also actually triggers above 120. Now, first of all, where's our stop? Our initial stop on this trade is going to be about a point. We're going to risk it to about 119. That's under the high of the prior day. Which would be the new support point on this now that it's broken out. So we're going long over 120, and our initial stop is going to be under 119. But as you can see, the other important factor here is that the Murrey Math levels have now shifted. So now we've got the 120 level is between the new 1/8 and 2/8 lines. And if I kind of shrink this chart, you can see we extend all the way up. You have to get to 126.56 now to get to the height of the new plus 2/8 level, which would shift the box, or break down, roll over, and break back under the 117.19 area. Okay, that's the lower negative 2/8 level. But more importantly, in terms of taking a piece of the trade-off, we're going to have a stop under 119. 120 was the trigger, and look at this 4/8 level. That's the 121.88 number. Okay, that's going to be the first point, and if we can get there, and certainly we're going to take a partial off the table. So let's rescale this so we can see it in real time. Go forward one more bar, and kind of pause right around the 120 level, and that's fine. One more bar, starting to move a little bit better off the 120 level. What's the next bar do? Boom, we start to move up. Okay, and we're heading up fairly nicely here. We'll go one more bar. We've made new highs on the stock. And here it is. Look how we stall out exactly at 121.88. That's the 4/8 level in the box. And that's a good place to take a piece of the trade-off. And again, pretty clean move for us. It's already gone almost 2 points, and you can see it used it almost to the penny. It's the high of that 5-minute bar. On a $120 stock, anytime something does something to a penny, you need to pay attention, and that's what these tools are for. So anyways, that helps us take a piece of the trade off, and you can see it kind of bases underneath it. It does break that level here a couple bars later and continues to go higher. We still had a piece of the trade on, and then here's what the next part of the day looks like. Now, one of the things that we teach with the course and in the use of these Murrey Math levels is that a big piece of trading, once you've established these set of lines at any point in time, a high percentage piece of the trading will happen between the 3/8 and the 5/8 levels. And let's zoom in one more time and look. We get all the way up and we actually address the 5/8 level, and then we pull back almost to the 3/8 level. So this thing's basing sideways between the 3/8 and the 5/8 levels, and that's what it's supposed to do. So the 4/8 gave us a target where it got to first, stalled out for 10 minutes. Good place to take a piece of the trade off, and now it's going to settle into the 3/8 and the 5/8 lines. And if I even take this off of the charts at this point, let's see what happens throughout the rest of the day, and I'll end bar replay mode, and you can see that as the rest of the day proceeded, that was actually the high for the morning, and it spent hours between the 3/8 and the 5/8 level. Okay, between that high here and the 121 was the 3/8 line, and it spent hours there before finally even pushing higher, which you would expect on a daily chart breakout that's a 5-month base breakout. But it was a great trade overall, and again, eSignal and the tools that we've created for eSignal make it really easy to manage that trade properly and get the most out of it. So I hope this has been useful for you, and we are available as usual to answer any questions. You can find us on tradesight.com, and if you do like what you've seen here today, make sure to like the video. Have a good trading session.